Insert coin.
Hey there, Waka Waka everybody, and welcome to Explaining All the Packs in the Pac-Man Universe, Part 2, with your host, SuperPat98. I'm surprised there's actually so many different packs in the Pac-Man games, and the series itself. I guess it makes sense because I discovered that there's like a million ghost characters, so there would be millions of different packs in the universe. Well anyway, let's get started. Number 1, Pac-Devil. Pac-Devil is like a satanic version of Pac-Man, and he appears in Pac-Man World Rally, a racing game that was on the PS2 back in the 2000s. I think Pac-Man World Rally is a great underrated Pac-Man game, by the way. I kind of wish they made a sequel to it. Pac-Devil has a really cool design. I love the fact that he's red. He has horns, devil hooves, and I think he has extra fingers on his hands. And with that goatee and the mustache, he reminds me of how Anton LaVey looked. And the less we talk about him, the better. I'm against Satanism, but I can't deny that the character does look cool. Kind of interesting that he only appeared in one Pac-Man game, and they don't explain where he comes from, or who he teams up with, or, what is his deal. I guess he's just the devil, I guess. It's weird, when you see him in the game, you kind of feel like you've seen him before, for some reason, but you haven't, because he only appeared in Pac-Man World Rally. Probably because there have been other devil characters in other video game series before, I mean, he could have easily been a Pac-Man villain in one of the, adventure games, like Pac-Man World, for instance. But anyway, number 2, Baby Pac. Baby Pac is the daughter of Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man. She was born in 1982. She had her own pinball arcade game. It was a regular pinball game, but then when the ball went to a certain area, you played a video game with a pinball machine. And now you can actually play as Baby Pac going through the mazes and stuff, eating the ghosts and whatever. I really like that idea. So Baby Pac was born after Junior Pac-Man, and Junior Pac-Man's a boy and Baby Pac's a girl. Baby Pac also appeared in the 1982 Hanna-Barbera cartoon. There she has lots of memorable moments where, she fools around with Pac-Man and whatever. They don't really do much with Baby Pac. It really seemed like her star was rising, and then they did nothing else with the character. Even when they brought back Junior in the Pac-Man World games, Baby Pac just didn't exist anymore. Was she adopted by another family? Or did she die? It's kind of weird that Junior Pac-Man is still alive, but not Baby Pac. Something to think about. Also, there's a Baby Pac character in the DS game, but this is a different Baby Pac from the original Baby Pac. This Baby Pac is supposed to be the little sister of Ms. Pac-Man. Are different. They do look very similar, and they have the same name, but they're technically different babies. I mean, all babies look the same for the most part, so I guess it makes sense. But still, it'd be nice if they made them a little different, though. Number 3, Cylindria. Cylindria appears in the TV series Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. She's friends with Pac-Man. She's a pink Pac. Her hair also looks different for a Pac character. It seemed like with Cylindria, they were really trying to make a different looking Pac character, and I like that idea. Usually the Pacs are yellow, but not Cylindria, which is pretty neat. She's a pretty feisty character. She's pretty tough in the battles and stuff, and she runs around with the rest of the characters. Other than that, I really don't have much else to say about her. The Ghostly Adventures was a show that had a lot of potential, but it was squandered. The longer the show existed, they only tapped into it being great in certain episodes, and then other times they were lazy with what they were doing with the characters and stuff, which is a shame. Maybe if the age demographic for the show was for an older age group, it would be a little better of a show. Even though I do think it was a good show, it had its moments, I'll say that. Number 4, Sir Pac-A-Lot. Sir Pac-A-Lot is one of my favorite Pacs. He only appears in a backstory cutscene explained by Professor Pac-Man in one of the cutscenes in Pac-Man World 2 back in the day. Sir Pac-A-Lot's backstory is that he was there to defend the tree and attack and defeat the evil demon known as Spooky. Spooky has been debated by fans whether he's a demon or whether he's a ghost. Either way, though, he fits both of those criteria. So, Spooky himself is fascinating. I do love that there was this whole adventure they explained that existed back then where Sir Pac-A-Lot was this great warrior. He was a champion that slain Spooky, and they had a great battle, and maybe he had an army of other packs, but they don't say that in the story. You can tell that from the cutscene that Sir Pac-A-Lot, along with Spooky, they fought and existed back in the Middle Ages or during the Crusades. Sir Pac-A-Lot's armor kind of looks like the armor that the knights wore in the Crusades. This would kind of imply that Sir Pac-A-Lot is like a Christian and Spooky is like the devil. So they were fighting the devil and defeated him. I really like this idea of a moment in history, but Pac-izing it, if I can use that terminology correctly. Just Pac-Man-ize it, where it's packs instead of, real people, and kind of change it up a little bit to fit the narrative of the Pac land or the Pac-Man world, right? Pac-Man World 2. I really love Sir Pac-A-Lot, and I wish they made a standalone game, which would have been a flashback game, where you could have played as Sir Pac-A-Lot and defeated Spooky. And it could have taken place in the Middle Ages, and it could have even been an RPG, but it probably would have been like Pac-Man World. But Pac-Man's, not born yet. Because that cutscene in Pac-Man World 2, where they talk about Sir Pac-A-Lot, it's very heavily implying that this is something that takes place a long time ago. So therefore, there is in fact a Pac-Man timeline. Not all the games are just their own thing. This means that there are stories that do take place before other ones. I did make a video about the Pac-Man timeline, which is my opinion of the order of how I think all the games would take place in if we were to do the math of a Pac-Man timeline. The plight and the fight with Sir Pac-A-Lot and Spooky, it does take place very early in my timeline in that video. I also made a little fan video of what a Sir Pac-A-Lot game trailer would look like. Here it is. Let me know if you guys think my little trailer was cool, and I hope maybe they'll listen to the fans like me and the 1%ers out there that think, Sir Pac-A-Lot was cool, and it's like you remember that character from Pac-Man World 2, even though you just saw him in that book, when Professor Pac-Man is explaining everything about the past. It's something you forget about, but then when you play the game again, you're like, oh wow, yeah, that was really cool that they explained that, and they had another character called Sir Pac-A-Lot. They don't do anything extra with these new ideas. It's like the Pac-Man Ghostly Adventures show. It's like, where is all the other characters? Where's the expansion? This is like only a small window into the expansion of what the Pac-Man series can become, not just what it is. We've seen this a million times before. So, get down to it, Namco. Listen to the fans. Sir Pac-A-Lot should return.